Hi everybody, it's Jessica the Dollhouse Curator and welcome back to the Curated Dollhouse. So today I am here because I was going to do this video a little bit different and something told me that I should do it this way. And yesterday my dollhouse was gifted with an amazing new doll. So I think that's why intuition was kind of already ticking in the back of my brain to do this a little bit differently, because the universe knew this was coming even though I didn't know this was coming. So today I am going to be showing you the dolls in my collection that I have that are Asian American or Pacific Islander themed, and some of the fun things that I am super excited about that I have been able to either recently add to the collection or that I have been so glad to see throughout the progression of the ethnicity of these dolls and what Mattel and Barbie specifically has been able to do. So I'm going to start off with talking about my Kiras. So I was recently gifted from the Dolly Godmother with a Miko doll. So this is one of the very first introductions of this face mold. And at the time this doll came out, they called this doll Miko. And I believe that this doll's heritage was meant to be Hawaiian because it was Hawaiian fun, it was tropical fun, island fun, that kind of thing. And I have recently been gifted with her and I absolutely love this doll. But she has what I have come to know as the Kira face. So I have 3 Kiras in my collection. And because this is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, I automatically think of my Kiras because she has been Hawaiian and she has been Japanese American. So she is a tie-in thread for this for me. So my next Kira that I have still was in kind of the Hawaiian theme for me. And this is one of the last Kiras that they made towards the end of the 90s, early 2000s, but I think this was really towards the end of the 90s. And this is my very first Kira. I love this doll. She likes to wear a lot of hats because her hair was stitched into ponytails and her hair is awful. But I have loved this doll and she has been in my collection since then. And then as part of the BMR line, or after this, Kira kind of disappeared for a while. And then they brought her out in the BMR 1959 line. So when I was looking to replace my Kira, not to replace, but to add a new one to my collection, this is the one that I found. And I think this doll reads more on the Japanese American side, which is what they decided to change Kira to at some point, I think in the early mid 80s. So she is the connecting thread for this kind of idea of the Asian American Pacific Islander theme. And I love when dolls can kind of give you a little bit of versatility in the look of their ethnicity. So I have a few other dolls up here that I want to introduce you to. And I'm going to start with another one of my dolls. So this is my Asian princess doll. I have the Asian, the Irish, and the Egyptian. A friend of mine got me this doll. I have had her in my collection since probably the early 2000s. I think this doll is absolutely gorgeous. I loved her outfit, the entire look, her makeup, and especially her shoes. They have like a little platform in the front and less of a heel on the back. And I think her face is absolutely gorgeous. So this is the doll that I use for my Babysitter's Club character of Claudia, because she was Japanese American in the books, Claudia was, and I think this doll just had such a beautiful look that I thought she would be a perfect representative for Claudia in my dollhouse, to be able to do her the way I saw Claudia in my mind. So I've dressed this doll back up and put her in her normal regalia so that I could put her up on display. My next doll I want to introduce you to. So let me be honest. I got away from Barbie for quite a while. So I got away from Barbie for a while because I just wasn't excited about what was coming out. And then in 2016, they introduced the Made to Move dolls. May not be 2016, but for me, that is when I was introduced to them. And when they came out with the Made to Move dolls, they did the 4. So we got what I consider the basic ethnicities that you see when they come out with like a kind of trio or quartet of dolls. So we got white, black, kind of Latina, Latinx, and an Asian. So this was my next doll that I got. This was 2016, after this big old gap, after I got this beautiful doll from a friend of mine. This was the next doll that I got that was kind of Barbie related. It was all of those years later. And she was one of the 4 that came out with the Made to Move dolls. I love this doll's face, and what I loved about when they came out with the Made to Move is they gave us that normal kind of 4 ethnicities, but each of them had a new look. Instead of Teresa and Christy and Kira, each of them had a new look. So I love that. So I found this dress last weekend out garage selling, and it has such a beautiful Asian theme to it. I got this off of a Beanie Baby, I believe it is, but I absolutely loved it. So I am going to be doing some adjustment to this dress. As you can see, I just got some safety pins in it now so that I can fit it for my curvy girls, because I absolutely love this outfit and I think it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful, and I want to have this for my curvy girls. Next up, the next ones I'm gonna kind of go through pretty quick. I got the Christy Yamaguchi Ice Skater doll. I do love this doll. What I like about Mattel is that they will give you a celebrity inspired doll. And this is the Christy Yamaguchi. So this was one of the next ones that I added to my collection. She came on a petite Made to Move body, and ice skating and gymnastics was one of the things that I watched a lot when I was growing up. Could not do either one, but I watched it a lot growing up because of the art. But this doll has just a generic face. When I say generic, I'm not being rude, but it doesn't look exactly like Christy, but it is kind of inspired by and paying homage to. This next doll is one of my favorites in the collection, hands down. I love a disabled doll. I love her face. She is giving me everything. So this is one of the newer Barbie Deluxe dolls. This is from the first wave. This is Barbie Deluxe style number 2. She comes with this beautiful glittery prosthetic leg and this gorgeous face. I loved her paint. I thought she was a beautiful representative of kind of Asian American. I absolutely loved it. So I really am glad that I added her to my collection. She's beautiful. This doll, darn near perfection. Darn near perfection. If it wasn't for the fact that this was an extra doll body that does have that same extra doll issue on the leg where they look half faded on the leg, if this was a Made to Move body and the leg could move, it would have been sheer perfection for me. Sheer perfection. My next doll is this gentleman. So this is Brandon from the Barbie Looks line, and what I love about him is he has kind of an ambiguous ethnicity. You can kind of make him whatever you want to, but for the Barbie the movie doll, he was the face mold that they used for the dark-haired Ken. So I love the one in the jumpsuit. So I love the fact that I had this face mold in my dollhouse. And this is also the doll that I want to represent one of my Star Trek characters. So I want to do Sulu from Star Trek. So that's why I wanted those Star Trek outfits for my Grail list. So I have not opened that collector's box that Ken sent me, but I will definitely get into it one day. I can't bring myself to open it yet. They just look so beautiful in there. But I want him to represent my Sulu in my Star Trek kind of display. And I think this doll is perfect for that. I do. Absolutely perfect. Oops, he's falling.
Help, I've fallen and I can't get up.
That's the oldest. He and him messing around and annoying me while I'm making my video. So this last doll, this last doll is not a Barbie. This is a Mattel Wicked doll. I put her on a Made to Move body. But this is the Madame Marble doll from Wicked. And this doll has the Michelle Yeoh face mold. What I love about what we're seeing from the Wicked dolls and some of the other Disney dolls that they've done here recently is they are giving you true face. They are giving you true face. My Christine Yamaguchi is gorgeous, but this is a Barbie face mold that is just inspired by this wonderful ice skater. But this is Michelle. I love the fact that I have this face in my dollhouse and that it is so realistic. I love the fact that I have it in my space and I can use her as maybe a grandma or an older doll. I love that. She also can read very young too. So I do have plans to maybe hopefully find me another one on clearance because I would like to keep one with the full Madame Marble look. I also love having this one kind of as like my grandma, my Asian grandma in the dollhouse. But I also want to do one and dye the hair black and do a version of her from my favorite movie of hers, which is Memoir of a Geisha. But this is perfection. And this to me shows the distance. It shows the distance that Mattel has come, because the doll is still made by Mattel, that Mattel has come from starting out with the Miko. She was Hawaiian. We'll just use the same face and make her Japanese American, and kind of going through this look of different dolls. And you see how we've been able to add more and more to our collection, not just under the theming of the culture, but really be able to see the culture come to life in our dollhouses with the dolls. But this here, yeah, prized possession, prized possession. This face is so absolutely beautiful. This is what I would love to see from this point forward as we continue to do these celebrity dolls. Because this is Michelle. This is a nod to Christy, but this is Michelle. Okay, next up, I have a couple of dolls that I decided to theme as Pacific Islanders. There is so much culture there. There is so much, just to learn. I am not going to try to pronounce some of these words because my Southern trips me up on the language that I actually speak. So some of the words that I have learned, I know I'm going to mess up. But I have two dolls that I have themed as Pacific Islander heritage. And I try to do this very respectfully. So I watch a lot of dance competitions. And one of the ones that I watched was a male hula competition. If it's the word is not hula, please put it in the comments and let me know, educate me. But the outfit, the team that I loved the most, I tried to mimic their outfit on one of my dolls for this idea. And I was going to put them in the rainbow highest space, but I'm glad I did it this way because it would have been just a little too crunched in the space. But I went through my fabric and I had a color of fabric that was very similar to what that team had on. And I did the items around the ankles, the wrist. I did the costume. I added in this part here because they had like a piece of fabric that was tied around the front that looked like a leaf. And in the back, which I'm not going to show you the back don't look good. I don't have that kind of skill to be able to make these costumes. But in the back, it had like a stand up and like some pleating. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. And then they had the headband on. And of course, all of their head and ankle and feet items were made out of just leaves. But I didn't have enough of that kind of stuff in my dollhouse to make it work. So I did it with some kind of leaf and twine that I had that I ordered from Temu a couple of years ago. And I am using my Cam doll from the Barbie Looks collection. This is another doll that I believe can be racially ambiguous. He gives you a little bit of American Indian. He gives you a little bit of Pacific Islander. He gives you a little bit of Latinx. So I love it. You can kind of play them however you want to. But I thought that this was gorgeous to be able to do for my dollhouse for this kind of idea. And because we're preparing for summer and I gotta finish up my ideas for what I want to do for our summer dollhouse that'll be picking up in July, I want to add this to it. I do. I love that I put this together. I will probably do a little bit more tweaking and try to make it a little bit better and cleaner. You know, I got my sewing machine and I am working on my sewing. But for what I could do, I thought this was really nice to pay honor to my Pacific Islanders. And then I decided to do a female version as well. So I was looking at a lot of the dance, when I was watching the dance competition over there, you get all of the shorts that pop up. And I learned the name, though I cannot say it, and how you tie the little skirt that they use when they do their little hula movements. And hula would love to learn it, but I think I would literally break a hip. I really do. I don't think at 46 I could move in the way that's going to do anything except end me up in the hospital, to be honest. But I learned how to tie and the name for the little skirt that they use. So I decided to theme my doll like that with the little skirt that they use and roll up. I gave her just a basic little top. And I love the flower behind the ear instead of like doing a lei. And I thought this turned out super beautiful. I used one of my crystal dolls. I only have a couple of crystals in the collection because I don't always appreciate how they treat Crystal with her makeup and her face. But this is one that I absolutely think is beautiful. And I wanted to do the flower just behind the ear because I thought it was so simple and so elegant for this. So those are the two dolls that I did the theming of behind the Pacific Islander. And then this last thing that I have to show you was another gift from the Dolly Godmother. Again, thank you so much. And I was floored when I opened the box and I saw this. So this is another Asian themed doll. I'm going to give you the keyword of face mold because I want you to look at the face mold that they use for this doll. And I am going to turn the box around so I can introduce it this way, so I don't give away too much. But this is the 1998 Hong Kong doll that they did for the reunification of Hong Kong with China. I did not expect to be getting this doll in the mail, but I am so happy that I did. This doll is absolutely beautiful, and I'm going to turn her around so you can see. But I want to open her up so you can see her with justice. So here is the doll. And I'm going to get really close. So again, this is the 1998 anniversary, the Golden Qi-Pao. If I said that wrong, please forgive. Barbie. And again, this is the doll that they did for July of 1998 for the reunification of Hong Kong with China. So this doll is absolutely beautiful. She will not be coming out the box. They would be doing her an injustice to take her out of this box. But she has the most beautiful golden embroidered dress. And she has solid gold shoes, gold colored, it's not real gold, gold colored shoes. She has some of the most beautiful little jewelry on. So she has some earrings, a little butterfly brooch right at the neckline of the dress. And she has a gold bracelet on as well. And I believe this is meant to be jade. That is big in that culture. So I absolutely love that. But I want you to take a look at the face. Now, knowing this was going to be an Asian themed doll, 1998, I automatically just thought this was going to have a Kira face. And when I opened this box and I looked at this doll and I saw that they had did this doll using a midge face. Number one, I was floored, but number two, I think this is absolutely beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. I'm not mad at it at all. I am not. This doll is gorgeous. So thank you again, Ken, for sending this to me. Oh my goodness. I love this. I love this. And again, like I said, I already, let me get back up here so y'all can again see how beautiful her face is. I was already saying that I was thinking of doing the kind of introduction of these dolls this way instead of doing it in the Rainbow High Dollhouse. And I'm so glad that I did, so that I could give not only this doll but the other one some justice. But I absolutely love this. Let me give you another look at this outfit and the jewelry. See if I can get close. There we go. The earrings, the brooch, the bracelet. Look at the embroidery and the detail on this doll. Like, this is absolutely beautiful. And again, her shoes are back there. I love this. I absolutely love this. So, it has been 20 minutes. Y'all, you know I love to give an update. But I am glad that I took this month instead of rushing to try to get a video done. I am glad that I took this month and tried to learn a little bit more about different cultures. Really was able to dig into my collection and pull out the dolls that are special to me from these cultures and try to give it as much honor as I could. But also this showed me like where we started. Again, over here with Miss Miko. Over here with the cultural theming, and where we have gotten to, where we are paying honor to some greats, some great women. But then again, ending here, the realism in this doll. This is Michelle. This is Michelle in all of her beauty and all of her glory. This is an Oscar-winning actress. And to be able to have her with her face in my dollhouse after all of these years and of me having a collection and building, absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. But I'm not going to knock being able to have these dolls that have that kind of ethnic ambiguity. See what I mean? See why I wasn't trying to say them words? English messed me up. But anyway, but these dolls that can kind of lean this way or lean that way, and you can kind of make it what you want to for your dollhouse and your culture and what you want to do in you know, in your space. I love this. I absolutely love this. And again, when you get a doll that has such a wonderful theming and you have an idea, oh yeah, this is going to be a Kira, and they give you something different, that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. So thank you so much for visiting the Curated Dollhouse and going on this Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month adventure with me and the dolls that I have in my collection. I hope you've enjoyed this. So please leave me some comments. Let me know if you have these dolls in your collection, what kind of dolls you'd like to collect in your collection. Definitely leave me comments on what you think of Miss Hong Kong. This doll is absolutely beautiful. But make sure you like, share, and subscribe. But if you don't do any of the three, again, at least leave us comments on our video and our doll collection. And we will be back another day with another video. Bye, y'all.